Coming up on this edition of Mustang News, we take a look at local Halloween events.
Plus, we will take a look at what's going on in our Texas elections.
After that, we will talk about another free film available on KANOPY titled We Need to Talk About Kevin. All this and more coming up.
Hello and welcome to Mustang News. I'm Latoya Fondren.
And I'm Ara Washburn. You were in for a treat if you made it out to Kager Coliseum last Friday. I was there to capture all the fun at the early Halloween event. In light of Halloween, last Friday, Kager Coliseum invited the community out to their first ever Halloween-themed ice skate. The Coliseum offered a $6 admission, including a skate rental if you wore a costume, which also entered you in the costume contest for a chance to win 4 tickets to the upcoming game for the new Wichita Falls hockey team, the Force. The event brought out a bunch of kiddos and their parents, as well as folks of all ages to enjoy Kager's skating rink. I spoke to one father who said the event is a great way to get new faces out on the ice.
I think it gets the kids a chance to get on the ice again that hadn't been able to get on the ice. Maybe bring some new kids out that have never skated before or want to learn to skate. Bring the awareness we've got the ice back. I think the impact is people, this is like the Sunday afternoon skate used to be. And I think if we can get the word out, it'll be a good thing.
For upcoming events at the Impact, check out wfimpact.com/events.
Halloween is a spooktacular time of year, and one Boys and Girls Club in town is giving the community thrills and chills, all while giving back for a great cause.
Ghosts and clowns are enough to get everyone in the Halloween spirit. Halloween is a time to get spooky. And I'm here at the Boys and Girls Club located on 6th Street to get a behind-the-scenes look at the 40th Chamber of Horror.
Chamber of Horror is the longest-running haunted house in Wichita Falls, and for 40 years, with over 60 adult student volunteers from the Shepherd Air Force Base, this haunted house has been a thrill to the community on the inside while helping the community behind the scenes. Director of the Boys and Girls Club, Randy Cooper, says their collaboration with the Alumni and Friends Association and Shepherd Air Force Base has helped to create an amazing experience for everyone.
We have a great place for a haunted house. It is in the basement of the Central Boys and Girls Club. This basement was built in the early 50s. It has very thick, strong concrete walls. It's an eerie place to be. It scares most people. And when you come through, our guests at the chamber, they will be greeted by a multitude of characters. From clowns, we have those that manage the haunted forest. We have a lab full of wild experiments.
Director of Operations for the Boys and Girls Club, Carlos Martinez, says his role is to work with the haunted house director to brainstorm fresh ideas every year.
Tunnel that you saw, we've had that for about 5 years. And what our hope is to go ahead and do 2 tunnels. So you'll have one tunnel that will spin one way and then another tunnel that will spin another way.
The goal of the haunted house is to continue to contribute funds towards building renovations and college scholarships.
Where half of our scholarships are to Midwestern State University. Some of the additional revenue scholarship, it goes to fund a portion of capital improvements.
If you're looking for a great thrill next year, be sure to check out this exciting event and be a part of a great fundraising cause. For Mustang News, I'm Latoya Fondren.
To find out more information on how you can join the Alumni Association, visit their website at wfbgcalumni.org. And if you're interested in becoming a volunteer for next year's haunted house, you can go to the Boys and Girls Club website at bgcwf.org.
It's that time of year again. Halloween is in the falls. Everyone can feel the spirit of Halloween in the air. Zombies, clowns, ghouls, and goblins alike took over the streets of Wichita Falls last weekend, scaring and delighting passerbys.
It's been quite the eventful weekend here in Wichita Falls, Texas, as we celebrate several activities dedicated to Halloween. The University United Methodist Church, located on Taft and Hampstead, across the street from MSU, Texas, held their annual pumpkin patch. They've been hosting their pumpkin patch for 20 consecutive years. All of their pumpkins come from the West Texas area and have 13 different pumpkin selections to choose from. The Go-To Girl hosted Zombie Fest this year, a vendor event and a fun time for children to get spooky blood-dripping face paint. This event made for a spooky good time for vendors of all types and trades. Deep in the heart of downtown, after a 2-year hiatus, Downtown Development brought back a beloved event known as the Zombie Crawl, where hundreds of families gathered in spooky costumes to have a hauntingly good time crawling in the streets of downtown. Lucy Park held a spooktacular event, Halloween in the Park, a family-friendly event with costume contests, pumpkin decorating, clowns, balloon sculptures, cakewalks, and carnival games galore. The Zombie Ball was held just hours after the Zombie Fest, hosted by the Go-To Girl. People joined in to boogie to all of the spoopy beats. The Brooke Burnett senior class hosted Frightmare, a haunted house fundraiser for Project Graduation. Project Graduation is an end-of-year party that's drug and alcohol-free. The haunted house consists of 18 rooms. There's even a kids' night available to see a less scary side and receive free candy. Your ticket gives you a wristband, which also gets you free chicken nuggets or a McDouble at the Brooke Burnett McDonald's. Halloween holiday spirit surely filled the air in Wichita Falls, Texas last week. Reporting for Mustangs News, I'm Ruth Mercado.
For more information on upcoming events in the Wichita Falls area, such as the Thanksgiving Market, Christmas Magic, and Nutcracker Soiree, visit choosewichitafalls.com/events and make sure to keep that holiday spirit in the air.
Voting season is here as voters and candidates gear up for a midterm election taking place on November 6th.
This past Tuesday, Beto O'Rourke gathered around 250 people to a short notice rally. The goal of the rally was to encourage voters to take part in early voting for the midterm elections. O'Rourke is the Democratic candidate running against former presidential candidate and Texas Senator Ted Cruz to represent Texas in the U.S. Senate. This rally was the second time in the last few months O'Rourke visited Wichita Falls. Candidate O'Rourke spoke to those in attendance about the race and the principles he stands for. Community member Lydia Pelican talked with us about how the event mobilized O'Rourke supporters to encourage others to vote.
I think there's a real positive energy and it gets people excited. I was thinking that maybe a lot of people that are here probably have already voted, but it's still an encouragement to motivate us to talk to others and encourage them to vote. So I think it's very helpful.
After his remarks to those in attendance, O'Rourke stuck around to take pictures with supporters. Midwestern State University student Jalen Williams talked about what it was like to see O'Rourke in person for the first time and to hear their similar political beliefs.
I've always, heard about his platform, but it was different, like really getting to see him speak, like on fire, this is how I feel, and to see him really put all his emphasis, and this is what he believes. He believes the same things I believe, so I want to vote for somebody who's going to want to make the changes that I want to see.
For more information on Beto O'Rourke's campaign, visit betofortexas.com. For Mustang News, I am Tyler Manning.
For more information on local elections, check out ballotpedia.org/Texas elections. And Ara, I think this election is really intense, and I think it's really important that people get out and vote.
Absolutely. And coming up after the break, we will recap this year's homecoming events.
Touchdown, Mustangs!
Hey Mustangs fans, it's time to secure your seat to witness MSU Texas's drive for a 4th Lone Star Conference title. It's a packed home slate featuring rivalry games against Texas A&M Commerce, Tarleton State, and West Texas A&M, as well as a national showdown with the Argos of West Florida. And you can see all the action for just $75 for your reserved seat. You buy 5 games and get 1 free. No lines and no fuss. Purchase your season tickets today at msuticketsonline.com.
Welcome back, Mustangs. During homecoming week, there are tons of things to do.
From fish fries to the annual bonfire, there's something for everyone. And this week started outright with some good laughs. Comedian Chico Bean came to campus during homecoming week. To say it was a hit is an understatement. The Comanche Suite of Clark Student Center was packed wall to wall. The University Programming Board hosted the event each year during homecoming. To match the theme this year, they wanted a Texas-sized comedian.
Being on campus during homecoming changes your experience of college. Like, that's what you look forward to after you leave college, because this is the time when you don't have any real responsibility. And as you grow older and get real responsibility, you always want to return to a time when you didn't have any responsibility and try to live that out as long as you can. Which is just a weekend, but it's enough to get you through the rest of the time till next homecoming. But this is the thing, you have to understand, be careful about the things that you do.
Chico B not only provided laughs, but some good advice. A great start to our Texas-sized homecoming.
And the homecoming festivities continued with the annual bonfire last Friday night. MNG reporter Craig Tidmore has more on this hot story.
For many students here at MSU, their Texas-sized homecoming week continued with a bonfire and pep rally that was held last Friday night. The event took place in parking lot 6, where head coach Bill Maskell pumped up the crowd.
Hell yeah, one more time.
The homecoming bonfire allows for students to come out and enjoy the festivities with their fellow Mustangs and potentially meet new friends.
Just get together with more friends and meet new people at these events, especially during homecoming, like Greek Week, Kyle, like KA, I'm a KA, so we're like uniting with them. It's just basically just a good season overall.
With all the events happening in this Texas-sized homecoming, leading up to the bonfire has left some students, even those who have been here a few years, with the impression that this is the best one yet.
Honestly, I've never experienced a homecoming like this. I attended, this is my third year to attend here, and this is probably the best one so far, honestly.
For Mustang News, I'm Craig Tidmore.
Homecoming week was a lot of fun for those who participated. We'll hear more about the homecoming game over in Sports Scene with Trey Jones. But for now, let's head on over to our very own Jesslyn Castro for other campus news.
If you're looking for a little diversity in your appetite, you're in luck. The Student African Organization is hosting their annual Taste of Africa to give students just that. Reporter Haley Aldridge has more on the story.
The African Student Organization is hosting their annual Taste of Africa to showcase the many different types of food and cultures that make up the diverse continent. Graduate student political science major Herbert McCullough says he's excited to share the celebration of culture with the MSU community.
So I am looking forward to this event because I believe that it's going to be a huge celebration of many of the different African cultures, and also I believe that this is a great example. I think that this event is the perfect example of the rich cultural diversity that exists on campus.
Some of the featured local food included dishes of jollof rice, fufu, spicy fish, puff puff, moi moi, and suya, and egusi soup. A member performed the Nigerian dance shaku shaku, and Afrobeat songs were featured throughout the event. ASO President Jonathan Benyarko says he thinks the event will be a success and next year should be better.
Okay, so Taste of Africa. Is it Taste of Africa?
Yes, it is Taste of Africa.
Taste of Africa was good. The turnout was good this year, but it was better last year because we really didn't get people out of the culture. No, the reason is we actually wanted to get people who are not familiar with African dishes to come try African dishes, you know what I mean? So people didn't really show up like we expected, but I mean it was
one due to the weather.
Due to the weather,
yeah.
And two because it wasn't in campus.
Yeah.
So next year we're gonna
try to get Comanche.
Try to get Comanche, you know what I mean? Yeah. A better venue, and hopefully we get a lot of people to come taste Africa.
For more information about the African Student Organization and upcoming events, you can find them on Twitter at MSU_ASO. Reporting from Mustang News, I'm Haley Aldridge.
And now we will do our Mustang movie review, a series in which we review movies from KANOPY. KANOPY is a free streaming service provided to students worth their tuition and fees. This week, we watched the movie We Need to Talk About Kevin, directed by Lynn Ramsey. The film tells the story of a mother post-family tragedy, jumping from the past and the future, giving the audience clues as to what happened. This thriller is a tense look into mother-son relationships and whether parents are to blame if their children do bad things. Actors Tilda Swinton and Ezra Miller give chilling performances as they portray a cold, distant relationship between mother and son. The film has a creepy atmosphere and leaves you wondering what is going to happen next. Though Halloween may be over, we still recommend you give this chilling, poignant film a watch. After the break, we'll check out the results of the homecoming football game, Mustang Madness, and the new hockey team with Trey Jones over in Sports Scene.
Welcome to Sports Scene, I'm Trey Jones. The men's soccer team played their final regular season game last Sunday and homecoming weekend against Oklahoma Christian. The hard-fought match was won by the Mustangs 1-0, with the lone goal in the match coming in the 33rd minute by Guillermo Leme with an assist by Julian Barajas. The victory brings the third Heartland Conference Championship to the Mustangs and the first for head coach Michael Meacham. The first round of the Heartland Conference Championship is this Friday at 7 p.m. against the Newman Jets at Stain Park. Good luck, Mustangs. And the women's soccer team also took onto the field Thursday during the recent homecoming weekend as they took on Texas Women's this Sunday. The match was high scoring as the Lady Mustangs took an early 3-1 lead, but the Pioneers came back with goals of their own, which led to a 3-3 tie. This tie grants the women's soccer team with a place in the Lone Star Conference Championship, which will begin today at noon. The first game is a rematch against Texas Women's. Good luck, Lady Mustangs. Come on and slam and welcome to the Jam. Nothing like a pep rally to boost school spirit and get a little crazy for homecoming week. Reporter Stephen Gomez has more on the story.
Madness lived up to its name, creating a fast-paced, energetic event with live music and dancing. The event introduced the basketball teams early off, starting with the women's team first, then the men's team, each showing off their school spirit and pride. After the first lip-sync dance came the three-point shoot-off between the two teams, which resulted in a win for the women. Head coach of men's basketball, Nielsen Haggerty, explains the power of Mustang Madness.
It's just it's an incredible way to start the season. You know, having all the students here and some of the alumni from the homecoming that come and support us, and the lip sync battle was incredible. All the student involvement, just a great night.
The second lip sync dance, both teams wound down and prepared for the main event, the Mustang Madness dunking contest. Between three members of the men's basketball team, each one tried to outdunk each other, creating some impressive moves. However, none were prepared for Kiana Diaz's dunk, which she did with a little help from her coach. Diaz explains why she enjoys Mustang Madness.
It felt great. It felt energetic. I feel like we got a good start to our season to introduce our players and get excited because we need a lot of support at our games. And I feel like today people know who we are, so it would help out a lot if everybody would come.
The event ended with the dance team and a crowd three-point shoot-off, as a year of free Whataburger being the prize. The shoot-off ended with the sudden death round. Both contestants were having a tough time making the winning shot. Once the Whataburger contest ended, a half-court contestant tried to sink a winning basket for a $500 scholarship. After a few tries, he got help from the men's basketball team and won, ending the event on a high note. For Mustang News, I'm Stephen Gomez.
Homecoming week included events just like Mustang Madness and the Bonfire, but it was brought to a finale at the homecoming football game versus Tarleton State. Sports Scene reporter Sterling Ellison has more on the story.
The homecoming football game is one, if not the biggest event of the year for MSU students. The game is the finale to the homecoming events that students had the chance to attend last week, like the Bonfire, Lip Sync, and Mustang Madness. The events and implications of the game transformed the homecoming game into the game of the year, providing plenty of hype around campus. The stage was set as two rival schools, 10th-ranked Midwestern State and 8th-ranked Tarleton State, played in front of a giant crowd of fans at Memorial Stadium. The game was explosive from the beginning, with 3 rushing touchdowns from Tyreek Edwards, Leighton Rabb, and Vincent Johnson, putting the Mustangs up 21-13 at halftime. In the second half, the game went back and forth, with the end of regulation being tied 28-28, bringing the game into overtime. Sadly, the Mustangs fell short in overtime, 34-35, as a muff snap on the extra point left the Mustangs 1 point short of Tarleton. The football game was not the only event that took place at the homecoming finale, however, as during the halftime show, MSU students got the chance to see who will be crowned homecoming king and queen. And after the results were read, mass communication majors Tristan Lacey and Morgan Hare were both crowned homecoming king and queen. MNG Media's very own Morgan Hare explains what was her reaction when she was crowned homecoming queen.
Honestly, when I won, I was pretty excited, really surprised. I was escorted by my friend Jason, who is one of my mentors at Young Life, and we had decided beforehand if I had won, he was going to throw it up and I was going to hit it. And I did. There's actually a really funny video and picture that was taken. The Wichita took one, and we're both like, so I was really surprised.
While it was a disappointing loss for the Mustangs, the events throughout the week will make this a homecoming week that students, and especially the mass communication department, will remember for a long time. For MNG Media, I'm Sterling Ellison.
Wichita Falls has a new hockey team that's a part of a brand new Texas-based league, the USA CHL. Sports Scene reporter Morgan Hare has more on this icy team.
Hockey is back and better than ever here in Wichita Falls since the Wildcat hockey franchise left back in April of 2017. Fans can expect to see some great results from this new young team, the Wichita Falls Force, during this 48-game season based on the results of their scrimmages earlier this week against the Laredo Bucks. The boys have been putting in hard work since early September as they prepare for their home openers this weekend. Nelson Sheeler, a goalie from Canada, talks about just how tough training camp is.
Well, we got here middle of September, I'd say, start of September, and we didn't have ice right away, which is kind of tough, but we were working out every day as a team. We played soccer in the pouring rain for 2 days in a row and kickball. That was a fun time, I guess. And then running the hill, we had the whole team running up the hill, and there's probably 90% of the team puking at the top after a minute and a half of work, so we work hard every day.
The Force officially got ice about 2 weeks ago. With the boys being from all over, finally being able to skate has really helped them come together as a team. Campbell Jackson, a defenseman from California, talks about how they are ready to get going this season.
Since we've been on the ice, it's been great. Everybody's getting going. Practice has been intense, but it's good. We're ready for the season here.
The Force recently went under a coaching change, and the league president, Troy Mick, was happy to step in as head coach for the time being.
You know what, I've coached pretty much all my life. I always say the players make the coach doesn't make the players. I've got 4 national championship rings as a coach, and really it's because of the players that you recruit, the people that believe in the message. And just like any career, if you're truthful and you follow up with your words, and not just words, but you have actions on it, when I can go on the ice and show them. I was able to play the game at a high level myself, so that's always a starting point, but nowadays you got to show these kids what to believe in, and the message is believe in each other, believe in our family, believe that only thing that matters is what we say in the dressing room. Come out, represent, and more importantly, the logo on front of your chest is more important than the name bar in the back.
Mick sent a message to the fans about spreading the word, filling up K. Yeager Coliseum, and that the Wichita Falls Force hockey team is indeed a force to be reckoned with. For Sports Scene, I'm Morgan Hare.
Each path to success is a journey.
At MSU Texas, you can set yourself up for success while learning on your own terms. Faculty mentors, research opportunities, real-world experiences, and individual attention are just a few of the many advantages of an MSU Texas education.
Live, lead,
and learn in a vibrant, creative community.
Make connections that will last a lifetime and prepare for the careers of tomorrow, today.
Take the first step of your journey with MSU Texas.
Welcome back, Mustangs, and welcome to Mustangs Corner, where we sit down with people from the community and hear more about just what they do. Today, we have with us the general manager of the Wichita Falls Force, Debbie Fleetwood. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So my first question is, could you explain your role within the team and maybe what you do for the Force and maybe how you got the job in the first place?
Okay. I am the general manager, so I handle all of the business operations of the team. So anything that is not on the ice, I handle all of the advertising, marketing, getting people in the stands, intermission games, kind of a little bit of everything.
Okay, and how did you get involved in that? Like, what made you become interested in that job?
I was formerly with the Wichita Falls Wildcats that were here a couple years ago. I was with that team for almost 5 years. And when this team came back, or when this league came to town, they came and asked if I would be interested in coming back to hockey. So that's how I am here.
Awesome. And can you tell us just about how the new team came to Wichita and maybe talk about why they chose Wichita?
This is kind of a central location for travel. We're a really good place for when the league builds and we move into other communities and other states. This is more of a central location, so they wanted to base out of here. So our league headquarters are based here.
Okay. And how's it been so far having all the guys here?
It's great. We've had them out in the community. They're out meeting people, doing fundraisers and events all over town, and just trying to get to know all of their fans.
Right. And you mentioned that they've done some sort of community events. Could you go into a little more detail about some of the events that they've done?
Absolutely. They have been out with we did the autism walk a couple weeks ago. They walked with the kids in that parade. They're going to be doing the hangar holiday. They're going to help all the vendors move in stuff. Okay. We've been out to a couple of different, we were out playing hockey with Iowa Park Middle School last week, and they played a little mini game against the teachers. So we're trying to be everywhere.
Awesome. And what do you think your favorite part is about having the Force here in Wichita?
My favorite part, just having hockey back in town.
Right.
It's a really good. The boys are here to get college scholarships. Right. They're halfway between high school and college, so getting them out and being seen by the scouts and building their futures is really what we're all about, and that's what's so exciting about it.
Right. And what do you think the community, do you have any sort of feelings about how the community feels about the hockey team? Like, do you think the community is excited about them?
I think they're excited to have us back. We were up against your homecoming weekend for our first weekend, so I know that took away from the opening weekend crowd a little bit, but being out and talking to people, they're very excited that hockey's back in town. They don't have to drive all the way to Dallas now.
Right. Awesome. And it looks like that's all the time we have left for Mustang's Corner. Again, thank you so much for joining us today, Debbie. And that's it for this edition of Mustang News. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at MNG Media and like us on Facebook. Be sure to tune in next time for Mustang News.